To formally start our lesson for today, let's first our energizer. So Marco Viano will show you the step of our energizer.
Okay, good morning, good day. So for our energizer, we will have 6 steps. The steps are step 1, peel banana, peel banana, and then cut banana, cut banana from left to right, and then eat banana, eat banana, and then digest banana, and then fourth step is the shake banana, shake banana. Do you follow, class?
Yes.
Okay, so fifth step, the out banana, the last step. Out banana, out banana. Okay, are you ready?
Yes. So stand up.
Please stand up.
And join me.
Do you want to join us in front?
No,
we're good. Okay.
Okay, sing everybody loudly. Ready?
1, 2, 3, go.
Peel
Banana, peel banana, cut banana, cut banana, eat banana, eat banana, digest banana, shake banana, shake banana, out banana.
Okay, thank you, class. Thank you.
So for today's class, we will only have 3 classroom rules. And these are, the first one is no cell phones allowed during the discussions. The second one is that when someone is talking, please pay attention so that after you have learned something. And the last rule, which is the very important rule, is that if you please participate because when you participate, just raise your hand and stand up when you answer.
At the end of the lesson, the students should be able to know the 7 domain of core principles, to know how to lead effectively, and of course, to learn more about leadership. So good morning, students. How are you feeling today? Okay, that's good. So for today, of course, we have a new lesson. Our topic for today is all about the National Competency-Based Standards for School Heads. So this topic or this lesson focuses on the competencies and skills of being a leader in the community or in the school. So the National Competency-Based Standards for School Heads outlines the key and competencies and skills of leadership in order to effectively lead and manage the school. So under this topic, of course, we have the core values, and under the core values, we have 7 domains. So the first domain is the school leadership. When we say school leadership, this example of these are those the class officers or school officers. Under the school leadership, we have developing and communicating vision, mission, goals, and objectives, or VNGO. So, this developing, communicating vision, mission, goals, and objectives, it focuses on the mission, vision, and goals of the school. The next one is data-based strategy planning. So, this site here is focuses on the strategy planning. Example, if you have, you want to. So under the database strategy planning, it's all about strategy planning. So example, if a community or a school wants to conduct an activity, of course they need a better plan for the better outcome of that activity. The next one is conflict management. On this side area, it's about, for example, we have conflict inside the classroom. So the leader or president or any other officers can lead or can conflict management involve strategy and bright techniques to handle a situation. So the next one is building high performance teams. This site here involves creating a group or individual to make a one team for effectively they can get or achieve what they want or what their goal is. The last one is we have coordinating the work of others. So here, it's all about coordination. If you want something to do or something to make or to conduct, we need the cooperation and coordination of everybody or of each others so that we can make or conduct a better activity or right activity. That's all for this topic. So next one, maybe call in Miss or Ma'am Bravo to explain her topic. So now let's move on to domain 2, instructional leadership. So under domain 2, there are 3 factors, which are the assessment for learning, developing program or adapting existing program, and implementing program for instructional improvement. So, assessment for learning means checking on how well students understand the materials as we teach. So we can adjust our methods to help them learn better. For example, during class, if I see any confusion to our topic, I might do a quick quiz or ask for feedback to adapt my teaching approach. This way, everyone can stay on track, and so we can address any misunderstanding from. When it comes to developing program or adapting existing program ones, it's all about crafting instruction strategies that resonate with students and enhance their learning experiences. Imagine, you're standing in front of your class explaining this concept. You might start by discussing the importance of designing educational program caters to the diverse needs and interests of students. For example, personalized learning program, where instructions are trained to fit each student's unique needs, preferences, and learning styles. Implementing program for instructional improvement. This concept involves implementing strategies and initiatives to make teaching and learning better in school. It's all about making sure both teachers and students are getting the most out of their educational experiences. For example, organizing professional development workshops. These workshops are the training sessions for teachers where they learn new skills and techniques to improve their teaching methods. Moving forward, domain 3, creating a student-centered leadership climate. So there are 2 factors, setting high social and academic expectations, creating social environments focused on the needs of the learners. So setting high social and academic expectations by establishing high standards for both social behavior and achievements. Educators encourages students to strive for excellence in all aspects of their education. Creating school environments focused on the needs of the learners. Tailoring instructions to accommodate individuals' learning styles, interests, and abilities allow students to engage more deeply with the materials. Teachers can offer choices in assignments and projects to cater in diverse learning needs.
So as we continue our lesson in this morning, let us first have a short review about our lesson, which is the instructional leadership, their roles and competencies. But before that, allow me first to introduce myself. So my name is Angeline Gaudiano, and you can call me Teacher Ann. Earlier, my co-teachers, Ma'am Pat and Ma'am Rose, discussed about the NCBSSH, stands for the National Commission Based Standards for School Heads, and they discussed about the first 4 domains under this framework. So, later on, I will be discussing about domain 5, domain 6, and domain 7 of this said framework. So, but first, let us first have a short review, as I said earlier. So, let us, can I ask for someone does anyone knows about the 2 kinds of leadership? So, okay, so thank you. So, the 2 kinds of leadership are instructional leadership and the administrative leadership. Instructional leadership, they are leaders who are encouraging and to support teachers to improve their teaching practices. They are made up of administrators, teaching instructional coaches, and other representatives, coaches from other teams, organized by grade levels, subject areas, departments, and clusters. And then, the other one is the administrative leadership, which we will be discussing later on. So, this is just a short glance about our lesson. So, administrative leadership, on the other hand, is the purpose of managing the day-to-day operations of the schools. They make decisions about the budgeting, staffing, and faculty. So, okay, so now let us now proceed to the domain 5 of the National Commission-Based Standards for School Heads in the Philippines. The first domain is domain 5. Which is the parental involvement and community partnership. So under this domain 5, we have parental involvement and community partnership. So we have this parental involvement. There is a study that based on the study, the students whose parents stays involved in their educations have better attendance, better behaviors, and gets higher grades. Okay, that gets higher grades. So it is important that the parents of our schools, of the students, be involved in schools in a manner that the parents involved in decision making of a child. So next is the external community partnership. So ito na class yung So as we all know that class, diba, that other programs such as drug abuse programs and other school work programs helps our students, our learners, to be aware of the reality of the outside world. So next domain, let's now proceed to domain 6, which is the school management and daily operations. So under this domain 6 is the school management and daily operation. So school management, so obviously the daily operations of the schools and the fiscal management. So for the knowledge of everyone, fiscal management is the operations of recruiting employees, evaluating their skills and knowledge, and then offering them a specific job in relation to school. So next is the domain 7 with the last domain of the SCBSH is the personal and professional attributes, personal and professional attributes, and interpersonal effectiveness. So the last domain involves professionalism, because these are the professional attributes. Professionalism, like for example, di ba, it is being said of our as a teacher that the code of ethics for professional teachers says that hindi tayo pwede magkaroon ng isang intimate relationship sa ating mga students or below sa ating na okay. And then the second is the communication. So good as a leaders, you have to have a good communication first to be able to be an effective leader. And then the sensitivity, interpersonal sensitivity. So interpersonal sensitivity is related to communication. So it is being aware of your behaviors or the perceptions of others, and then interpersonal sensitiveness, no? So this is the hindi ka basta-basta nagbigay ng mga words that might be offensive to others. Kung sa'yo, okay siya, pero kung sa iba, kung sa ibang person, maaaring sensitive yun. So you have, as a leader, you have to be very sensitive with your words. And then lastly is the fairness, honesty, and integrity. So, fairness, no? Fairness, you as a school head or as a higher position level, you have to treat your employees fairly. Hindi porket family mo sila or may gusto ka sa kanila, i-treat mo sila na special. And then honesty, syempre, as hindi ka mamurakot, and then you being honest with yourselves of your work. And then lastly, the integrity, that being truthful and honest to yourself and others. So, eto na yung personal beliefs mo, and i-align mo yun siya sa personal beliefs sa iyong principles in life.
Again, class, I'm here again to talk about administrative leaders. Administrative leaders plays a crucial role within an organization. So one of it is the school leadership, which is the domain 1. The developing and communicating vision, mission, goals, and objectives. 1B, database strategic planning. 1C, problem solving. 1D, building high performance teams. 1E, coordinating with others. And 1F, leading and managing change. School leadership, of course, focuses on how being a good leader in one particular aspect. For example, inside the classroom. So as a president, he or she needs example, the president, so he or she needs to play his or her role and also under the school leadership, of course, including how to solve a problem, to lead the school or certain things. Next, the domain 4, which is the management and professional development. 4A, creating a professional learning community. 4B, recruitment and hiring interpersonal effectiveness. And 4C is the managing performance of teachers and staff. As a leader, you need a professional leader to manage everything inside the school or certain things. The last is the domain 6, is school management and operations. 6A is managing school operations, fiscal management, and use of technology in the management of operation. When we say fiscal management, of course, it's about financially. I know not totally all about financially, but it focuses more about financial. For example, if the school heads or one of the school officers, they planning to conduct a activity for all the students inside the school. So of course they need a budget. So that's the time physical management involved in financial. So class, any questions? Further explanations if you have knowledge about the topic. Any questions? Okay, very good. So that means you're really paying attention. So that's all for today, class. Thank you for listening.
So in addition to earlier discussion, our administrative leadership also include the domain 5 and 7, which discusses about the parental involvement and the community partnership involves the parental involvement and an external partnership. And another under domain 7, also the personal and professional attributes and interpersonal sensitivity, effectiveness. This includes professionalism, communication, interpersonal sensitivity, fairness, honesty, and integrity.
So, good morning, students. Before we're gonna continue our topic, let me introduce myself. My name is Sandra Lynn Sailila Alpa, and you can call me Teacher Sandra. So, our topic for today, it's all about administrative leadership. So, administrative leadership involves overseeing the day-to-day operations of the organizations, ensuring that resources are effectively managed and goals are met and policies are followed. So under this administrative leadership, we have domain 1 and domain 4. So the domain 1 is strategic thinking and innovation. And this 3 is his competencies. Number 1, we have the charting the strategic directions, making informed decisions, leading change and innovations. Involves the ability to analyze complex situation and anticipate future trends and develop long-term plans to achieve organization goals. So innovation goes hand in hand with strategic thinking. It involves finding new and creative ways to solve problems, improve processes, and stay ahead of competitions. Another one is a domain 4, stakeholder engagement, and this is his competencies. Promoting shared responsibility for school improvement, managing education's alliance and networks, sustaining collaborative relationship with stakeholders. So in the process of involving individuals or groups who have vested interest or influence in an organization's activities. This involves communicating with stakeholders, listening to their concerns, gathering feedbacks, and incorporating their perspectives into decision-making process. By actively engaging stakeholders, organizations can build trust, foster collaborations, and ensure that their actions align with the needs and expectations of those affected by their work. So this is just the 2 domains under the administrative leadership. So Miss Danalyn will continue the topic. Thank you.
Good day, class. I am Teacher Dan Hanif Aisay, and you can call me Teacher Dan or Ma'am Dan. For the continuation of today, we have here the domain 3 and domain 5. But before we proceed to that domain, let's first recall what does administrative leadership means. When we say administrative leadership, it is a leader who manages a day-to-day operation of the schools. It involves decision-making in budgets, staffing, and facility management. It is where our leaders work with the community to provide or build support for the schools. When we say culture and organizational leadership, it is where our leaders worried about the futures of its organization. We have here the domain 3, which explains the personal excellence, When we say personal excellence, it is a leaders who play a crucial role by providing feedback and coaching. It is a leader who provides constructive feedback, observe performance, and guide a team towards improving performance. In this category, we have here the managing personal effectiveness. When we say managing personal effectiveness, it is demonstrate the ability of a leader who effectively cope up with a change. Example of this is the determination. It is a leader who demonstrates a strong belief that children can learn. Demonstrate a strong belief that all children can learn. Express and model professional ethics, values, and moral leadership. Address areas for self-improvement. When we say managing personal effectiveness, it demonstrates the leader's transparency and accountability. It where a leader holds oneself accountable for personal and organizational setback and shared learning points. Additionally, it is where a leaders deliver results that aligns with the personal goals with organizational goals. For the second one, we have here acting on challenges and possibilities. When we say acting on challenges and possibilities, it is where a leaders manage priorities. What is important, what is not, and what should a leader should work on. In addition, personal excellence relation to culture and organizational leadership, it is where leadership plays a crucial role on shaping organizational behavior. Lastly, we have here the domain 5, which explains the managerial leadership. When we say managerial leadership, it combines management and leadership's roles to increase task, performance, organizational effectiveness, and employee satisfaction. We have here 3 subcategories. Number 1 is managing school resources system. When we say managing school resources and systems, it is where leaders manage financial resources, manage learning environments in school and in community, manage systems and procedures wherein it promotes learning. Lastly, managing school resources and systems, it establishes and maintains management system in promoting learnings. Second is we have managing staff performance. Managing staff performance, it is where a leader aligns staffing decision with the visions and mission of the schools. Secondly, it manages schools' personal requirements, wherein it conducts teachers' performance appraisals. The last subcategory is we have here the managing sustainable school projects and programs. When we say managing sustainable school projects and programs, it involves the demonstration programs and project management skills, wherein it ensures that programs and projects support students' performance. Secondly, it supervises and evaluates program and project implementation. Additionally, we have here to promote school-based programs and projects that support sustainable development. It demonstrates an understanding of education for sustainable development of the students. It engages the community in creating a safe, healthy, resilient, and learner-centered environment.
Good morning, class. Today I'll explain why the domains under competency frameworks are included in instructional leadership. So, the stakeholders engagement the domains of stakeholders engagement and managing resources, managing school resources and systems are included in competency framework for instructional leadership because they are essential for effective learning education. Stakeholders engagement is crucial in instructional leadership as they need to build strong relationship with various stakeholders such as parents, community members, and education officials. So managing school resources and system is another important aspect of instructional leadership. So instructional leadership needs to effectively manage financial resources, the learning environment and system and procedure within the school. So in summary, these competencies enable instructional leadership to fulfill their roles, responsibilities in promoting students' successful and school improvement.
So, good day, class. I am Teacher Arnoline Marañon, so you can call me Teacher Lane. So, my topic is about school head and the community. School head and the community, it was devoted to school and community partnership to emphasize the significant role of teachers and school head in relation to communities. So, school head and the community, it is the partnership of the school and the community. Without this school and without school, we can partnership with helping each others for the future of the youth. So these are the strands are as follows. First is the explain the school vision to the general public, which is explained in the domain 1A, and aligns the school improvements plan, annual improvement plan with national, regional, and local education policies and trust. It is explained in domain B1B. The next is the communicates effectively, rely SIP-ALP to internal and external stakeholders, domain 1B, involve stakeholders in meetings and deliberations for decision making, domain 1B, provides feedback and updates to stakeholders on the state status, progress and completion of the programs and projects. The next is creates and manages the school process to ensure students' progress and convey to the students and parents guardians related needs. Recognize the high-performing learners and teachers and supporting parents and other stakeholders domain in A. The next is the prepare financial reports and submits communicates being through higher education authorities and other education partnerships, maintains harmonious and pleasant personal and political relation colleagues, subordinates learners, parents, and other stakeholders, domain 3A. And then, listen to stakeholders' needs and concern and response appropriately in consideration of the political, social, and legal cultural context. So here, as it mentioned in strands are as follows: school head and the community are related to each other. It's because the school head and the community help the school, like example is the donations, other school events that the community, example is the guest speakers, can attend in the school event, so that it gives collaborate and it gives example the guest speaker it has a lot of experience and it invited to the school to speak about motivational experiences for us students who can motivate in the future. Thank you.
And always remember, teachers, to the other people, we need just a teacher. But to our